Last week, I played a video for you of Charlie Kirk, right-wing guy. I don't even know what to call him. He has an on-campus organization. Charlie Kirk saying when he gets on a plane and he sees the pilot is black, he gets worried. This is where the Republican Party is right now. Well, then they went to Candace Owens in order to run interference. Candace Owens, who is black, defends Charlie Kirk's statements by saying, hey, listen, when I get on a plane and I see the pilot's a woman, I get worried.
But unfortunately, that is the reality of what happens when it comes to DEI. And what he is remarking on is true. I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota. He just wants there to be more women and wants there to be more black people. And he's not concerned at first with qualifications. That is something that should alarm all of us, guys.
One of the things that, by the way, I wonder what the pilot would think if she saw Candace Owens on her plane, but that's a different story. One of the things that is missing from this discussion is that in so many of these fields, we have more than enough qualified people. So in other words, saying, hey, here's a weird thing. Here's some place, like, for example, the U.S. Senate. In the U.S. Senate, we know that more than half the country is women, and yet there are only 3 female senators. I don't remember what the number is now, but just at some point, right, when the number was 1 or 2, half the country is women, and we have only 2 women senators. That's weird. Unless there's some really good explanation for that isn't, this is the way we've done it, or what. It might be an interesting thing to make an effort to elect more women senators. Oh, but you're going to select unqualified people just because they're women? No, we have a country of 330 million. The Senate has 100 people in it. We have tens of thousands of qualified men and women who would be great senators. So we don't have to lower standards to say, hey, that's really weird. Now, I am not of the belief, and listen, I'm not going to speak for others. If there are people on the left who hold the belief that every field has to have perfect representation, if there's 17% black people in the US, there should be 17% black people in every field. If there are 50.5% women, there should be 50.5% women in every field. I don't believe that, okay? I don't think everything has to be perfectly distributed. But when you look at things that are super lopsided, well, women are half the country and 0% of the presidents ever. That's kind of weird. Maybe that would be an area where there might be some benefit to having a woman president, okay? There are places where we just kind of apply common sense. As I've said before, when it comes to aviation, there's a general pilot shortage that goes well beyond, oh, we're going to put aside the qualified people to hire unqualified women and blacks. I mean, it's a crazy perspective. And just as a reminder, this is what started it all. Candace's comment I just played for you was in service of defending this comment last week from Charlie Kirk.
And that's why I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard, because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off.
Right.
And I feel better now thinking about that.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the.
It kind of seems like it is what he believes. Anyway, I had one particular experience with a female pilot. It was a JetBlue flight. I think it was either LAX to JFK or Vegas to JFK. Anyway. It was like an already delayed flight because they had to fly in a part for the plane from San Diego, and then it was delayed, and then there was really bad turbulence. And the female captain came over and said, listen, I know lots of people are worried about turbulence. We're going to have a bunch of turbulence on this flight. I just want you to know it can feel uncomfortable, but the plane is designed to fly in the turbulence. It's going to be perfectly safe, and you really don't need to worry. We're not going to take us through anything that would endanger the plane. And at the time, both my girlfriend and some of the other people I was flying with said, you know, something about the way that she presented that genuinely makes me feel at ease in a way that when you hear seatbelts, folks, we're going to have some turbulence, just doesn't. completely anecdotal story that came to mind as I was listening to Candace Owens, but this is where these folks are at now. We get worried if we see black or female pilots, but the reason we get worried isn't because we're racist or sexist. It's because of the woke DEI mob that is obsessed with putting unqualified people in positions they have no business being in. They've figured out a way to couch their prejudices as the fault of the left, which is, this is where we are in 2024.